Hello, class, and welcome to AgePoint, our age verification software. Our app, AgePoint, is intended to be installed on any personal device, such as a PC, phone, or a tablet. Its purpose would be to require users to verify their ages as being at least 16 years old before being able to access social media. This is an app that could be standard on all phones if manufacturers desired true user safety, if a legislation was passed to require such age verification, or if a parent simply wanted to upload the app to any family device, limiting their child's access to social media. All right. We are Team 4, and this is our final group project video. Description of the HCI issue. Should minors be allowed to use social media platforms, especially social media platforms whose age verification doesn't, or age limit, or target age for user, doesn't exactly match up with parent safety and user safety? The issue is that according to our research, right now minors are able to sign up for social media platforms at the age of 13 years old, despite there being vast, agreed and uniform psychology and sociology articles that suggest that users be 16 years of age for having access to social media platforms. And what we found through research is that this is because just during those 3 years of development, those minors are still especially susceptible to falling victim to online predation, to being cyberbullied, to oversharing their personal information, such as their home address, their location, their neighborhood, their school, personal information about themselves. And though this is less harmful, we also found that there are some pretty big corporations out there with teams of psychologists who are specifically targeting minors, some as young as teens, with ads. They're victims of targeted advertising. Okay, so analyzing the issue, what is the solution? Well, raise the age to 16 years old and implement a mandatory age verification process with state-issued photo identification in order to ensure age eligibility and eliminate fake profiles from being created? Yes, sure. And as we all know, it is extremely unlikely that our warring political factions will ever actually implement some legislation that aids us. So we created a product that prevents users from accessing sites when users do not meet the age requirements of those sites. We also found that this product must be secure, since we are trying to guarantee the safety of these young users. It must be secured, and for it to be effective, it should only be installed once, and you should only have to upload the necessary documents once, rather than requiring multiple uploads and logins. Okay, once installed, a user must create an account using an email and password sign-in with a texted verification. The user would then verify their age by scanning one of several state or federal identifications. This scan need only be performed once before being able to upload social media applications. The app would scan the ID for the user's name and birth date and only store that information. All other information from the ID would be auto-read and deleted. Okay. Our servers, of course, would be protected by, your usual security devices. And, of course, the phones that upload these apps already have their own security features. We began with a kind of a mental paper product. We actually began, through websites and web development. when we made this product. So our paper prototype has always been an online version, and within emails between Dr. Sandoval and between our group discussion, we were able to perform some heuristic testing and to head off some problems before we got to the think aloud testing and the early design phase of this. But we'll get to that in a moment. Here we have the PC version of the app and also the phone and tablet version of the app for you. Those links. All right. So initially, when we have an app that is up and running with complete programming, so that it can, have the technology to scan these IDs and successfully verify them and store that date and that birth name, and also block those social media apps. We weren't able to, of course, do this complete list. This will be our complete list, once the app is completely finished. But we were able to use this list as kind of a template for our Think Aloud testing. So basically, our Think Aloud testers were asked to do number 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. All right. So basically, our Think Aloud users were asked to, go to a website or an app store that featured the app, to get it, to put it on their phone, to upload all their information, create an account, to upload a document or scan their ID, and then to try to upload social media. And we were very successful in our Think Aloud evaluation. As you can see, we have some glowing kind of reviews and testimonials here. But there were some things between the heuristic testing and the Think Aloud testing that popped up that we had to deal with. During the heuristic testing, of course, one of the things that we realized was we didn't have email address or phone number boxes for creating the account. So, that might be important. We need to add these features. In the Think Aloud testing, we found that one of our users, I believe Julie, wanted some verification that the document was successfully uploaded, because there was a pause between screen switches and nothing to tell the user that he or she had successfully uploaded the document. We also found during the Think Aloud testing that we found that the people on phones were having a lot longer time successfully uploading the app and getting all their information in, because scrolling for a state or a country, specifically countries, took so long, because the United States is always at the end and America's always at the, and we thought that if we put America in there, it would be at the beginning. With PC users and our Think Aloud testing, this wasn't as much of an issue, because there's bigger screens, you can actually scroll quicker. But we found in all our phone testing that it was a little bit slower. Now, this is something that everyone's accustomed to dealing with, but we're talking about improving our app. So also during heuristic testing, we discussed the idea of these security issues and potential security threats to having, especially identification of minors and or anybody's identification at all, floating around on the internet. And so that's where we decided to do our auto read and auto delete function, storing only the information that we need. We also try to streamline the app as much as possible to make it quick and easy to use. We discussed that a little bit better. And the test users gave us some additional feedback to show us that the app was easy to use and that could be useful. And we've already discussed those above. All right, so in our conclusion, we found that actually we did a pretty good job. All of our testers were completely successful in going to an app store or the website and uploading the app and having all the information, including their ID information, successfully created, uploaded, all that good stuff in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The quickest time that we had was 1 minute and 11 seconds. We found that laptops and desktop users were faster, which we've already discussed. We found that, again, it had to do with screen sizing and the order of countries and states. One of the problems we did encounter is we didn't have a lot of audio on our phone Think Aloud testing. So, once we get through this virus, we would like to do further testing with a larger sample size, but ultimately we felt it was successful. These are the main 4 references from which we got our information about children and teens and their issues with this. Thank you very much, class. Good night.